sun come out tomorrow. The waves are so pretty.
Scoot over, I'm getting it.
Intelexx here. Welcome to Lifin with Lex, where we talk about a variety of topics surrounding life, because life be lifin', right? Yes, definitely working out to keep the stress level down, because life be lifin' and people will try you, okay? But don't worry, because there is one thing that we gotta do. And listen, check the message here, okay? Start each day with a grateful heart. Yeah.
Everybody get in the picture, get in the, or get in the video. Hey, we out here.
Definitely got to be around the family, but self-care is a must. So you need that isolation because, baby, but most importantly, enjoying life, because you only get one, right? And a part of life is building relationships. Definitely got to have that. And definitely got to stay on point with the learning, because knowledge is power. Okay? And not only that, applying it. Yes, that's right. Putting that knowledge to work and doing the work for the greater good. You heard me? Make sure to tune in and tap in to this episode to see what we're going to talk about today. Hello, welcome back. For those that are just tuning in, welcome to Lifin with Lex. Y'all are rocking out with me this season. I appreciate you all. Wow, we are winding down on season 1, okay? We are on episode 9. Yes, we're on episode 9. So this month we are going to talk about time is money, managing is another task. Okay, now I feel like all of us can relate to this topic when it comes to time management, because we all have several different hats that we use. Okay, and so a part of becoming older, being an adult, is having more responsibilities. And so a lot of us, once we get to a place where we have all of these responsibilities, we're like, I want to go back to childhood when I didn't have to think about all of these responsibilities. Okay, who's with me? All right, shout out to you if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube. All right, shout out to all of our viewers, where you're tuning in from. Make sure to leave some comments, some likes, subscribe to the channel if this is your cup of tea. Okay, but yes, so when we get to the point where we're like, let me go back to mama and daddy's house, let me not have to worry about these responsibilities, because at the end of the day, time is money, and how you handle your time is how you handle anything. So the more responsibilities you have, the more balance and the more management you need in order to steward what you have properly. All right, and so that is the issue when it comes to having multiple responsibilities. So a little bit about what I do. Okay, I'm a case manager. I have my own business. I help other people with their businesses. I'm an assistant. I have family. And I have other responsibilities when it comes to ministry, when it comes to my spiritual walk, when it comes to managing certain social media and things of that nature. So I am being pulled in different arenas. I have multiple hats. All right. And so because of this, I have to be very strict on how I handle my time. All right. My calendar is my best friend because if something happens, or if I have something to go to, if I have to go to an event, or if I have to create something, if I have a meeting at this time, if I have to do this or go here or go there, and it's not in my calendar, it does not exist. Okay? Who's with me? It don't exist at all. Right? And so for me, I have to be organized where I have to have everything written down. I have to have my schedule clearly mapped out as far as the time frames, as far as what it is I have to do, how long it's going to take, what my span is within a given day, within a week, what my deadlines are, or else I am going to be all over the place. Now, there are some of you who are able to go day by day. You can switch up your schedule whenever. You can go off the fly. You don't need a calendar. You don't need a schedule. You just do what you can do in that day. And whatever you don't get to, you do it another day. That is perfectly okay. For me, I will be a hot mess. All right. How I function is with organization and structure. And so when I don't have that type of structure, it throws me off. And so when it comes to managing my time, I have a strict schedule that I go off of. Now, there are some times when you can change it up, and that's very good. It's very healthy to kind of get out of that robotic mode to where you're not burning yourself out, because a lot of us tend to burn ourselves out if we are not doing what's healthy for us in different ways, as far as taking breaks, as far as doing something different, going a different way home, walking, listening to music, working out, journaling, whatever your heaven is, whatever your go-to is to kind of relieve yourself from whatever stresses that you have for that day, that week, that month. If you don't incorporate that throughout your busy schedule, you will burn yourself out. And you're either going to listen to your body, or your body's going to take over and make you listen to it. All right. I've dealt with that plenty of times. When I was in school, I used to want to do everything all at once. I didn't want to take any breaks. I wanted to be done with it. When I'm done, and that's it. Right. This is not very healthy, especially if it takes a long time to get everything done. For me, I would work on things for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I wouldn't get up to take a break. I wouldn't get up to use the bathroom. I wouldn't get up to eat or anything like that. I would be completely focused on what it is I had to do. And then when I was done, or when I was at a satisfied point of being done, then I would stop. Don't be like me. Okay. Make sure to manage your time in a way that does not kill you and that does not stress you out, because it will if you let it. All right. Don't let your schedule run you. You run it. So I'm going to give y'all a little breakdown of what I do during a given day. Okay. Now this changes based on how many meetings I have, based on what it is I have to do, based on if I have to create content, or if I'm looking for different things, if I'm trying to scout out different talent for my business side, or depending on how many meetings I have for work. So my day starts at 5 a.m. and it usually ends around midnight, 1 o'clock on a good day. All right. And so my days are very long. So a part of that is, for one, when I get up, as my spiritual nourishment, I take the first couple of hours just to focus on God and study and read. Okay. Once I'm done that, there is working out. Once I'm done that, showering, getting ready for my work, my 9 to 5. All right. once, depending on, like I said, depending on how many meetings I have, I might be doing a lot of paperwork that day. I might have meetings to go to that day. I might have a combination of both, and there's work meetings, and then there's client meetings, and then there's paperwork and scheduling and putting in documentation and all of these little tedious things, right? Okay, so that's the 9 to 5. My business work is all the time. So that's all throughout the day. I'm getting calls. I might need to make somebody a flyer. I might need to create forms for them. I might need to be the assistant or the secretarial manager to where I'm sending out emails, I'm sending out messages, I'm doing all these different things for someone else, because that's a part of what Intelexx does. We help to promote your artistry, whether you're your own brand, whether your business is your brand, whatever you have, we help you with that. So part of being the CEO is I have to do everything that everyone else that's on the team does. Just in case no one else is available, I'm able to do it myself. And so that's a part of management, taking time out to learn your craft so that no one is better at you. No one is better than you at what you're supposed to be doing. All right, so you can hire as many people as you want. And some things is just not your thing, which is okay, which is why you hire people to do things. But if it's something that you can learn and you can acquire those skills, be the best at it and be the one that can do it. Because even if you do hire other people who can do it, being able to do it yourself is the catch, okay? That's where it's at. All right. You'll appreciate me later for it. All right. So, like I said, that's ongoing, creating content for the month within a week, okay? Depending on my schedule, I might have to break it up a little bit. All right. But finding my content, figuring out what I want to post, creating the captions for it, creating the videos for it, creating the sounds and the graphics and all those things, all that takes time. All right, so I have to set aside days and times. It could be the whole day for like 8 hours a day. I might just do all my content within that one day and just set aside one day out of that week to do all my content for that week or for the month. All right. Now, depending on your equipment, whether you have lights, whether you have cameras, whether you're using a phone, whether you're using a laptop, whether you're using different devices, all of these things matter, okay? So figuring out how much time it's going to take, figuring out what it is that you need to get everything done, because all of that is factored in with time, all right? That's what we talk about this now, is time, right? Managing your time is something that is so important, because when you mismanage time, it really affects you, okay? And so, like I said, with business, it is constant, right? Like I said, I'm also helping other businesses, other people with their business. I'm sending out resources. If someone needs my advice on something, I'm taking time out for that. I take time out to do meditation throughout the day. I take time out to eat when it's time for me to eat, right? I don't eat all throughout the day. I eat within a short period of time, once a day. And so within that time frame, I don't want to be bothered. And so majority of the time, my phone is on Do Not Disturb. So FYI, if you ever call me and it goes straight to voicemail, more than likely it is on Do Not Disturb. Leave a message. I will check those messages and I will get back to you, okay? It is no shade to you. So if you get the going straight to voicemail, or if it rings and I don't answer, that means I am doing something else. All right. And so I really do value my time. The best way for me to do things that I enjoy is when I schedule them in. Okay. So if I want to go to an event, if I want to hang out with some friends or some family, I will schedule it in when I'm available. And that's when I will take time out to do that. Now, things change, of course, if there's emergencies or if it's something that has to be tended to at that moment, my schedule will get rearranged for that, right? I feel like everybody's schedule will get rearranged for emergencies. That should be a a given, right? But when you are prioritizing wants over needs, that's when you're not managing your time well. And so, what's important? You having to get this done by the deadline, or you want to go out and hang out because you were invited to go. Like, what are you going to do, right? And so that's something that you have to think about, right? Something you have to think about. So when it comes to when you want to really get a better hold of your schedule, of your time, really map out what it is you need to do. Like, really map it out. What do you have to do for the day, for the week, for the month? Figure out what doesn't change. Figure out those things that might come and go. Figure out how to kind of schedule it out so that you can see it. Sometimes you just need to see what it is you're working with so that you can work with that. A lot of us is going off of, I got it in my head. I got it written down up in here, but that can change, okay? Your mind can go one way one day and go the other way the next. When you have it written down, it's tangible. It's something that you can see. It's something that your mind unconsciously and subconsciously needs to accomplish when it's written down. That's why a lot of people do resolutions and goals because or vision boards, because once they see it and once it's on paper, it's like it's forcing you to accomplish that. So that's something that you can do, right? For me, like I said, I have to have my schedule. I have to have that structure. There are times when I deviate, but that's rare occasions. I'm usually set on my schedule all of the time, okay? And so, like I said, unless there's emergencies or unless something happens to where I have to change up my schedule, I'm usually on the schedule that I'm on because it helps me to be my best self and it helps me to maintain productivity, right? You can be busy doing stuff without being productive. We're not doing that. Not in 2024. Don't have time. We're going to be productive. All right. Now I make time. I might watch a show that I might like when I'm winding down. I have time to read. I make sure I get enough water in my system. I make sure to do things that I love, that I incorporate throughout my day. And if I'm not able to do it throughout my day, to make sure I do it before I go to bed. Like, I love to write. I love to create. I love to help others. I love to listen to music. I love to take time out to watch different type of movies, different type of genres, different shows. When it comes to the entertainment field, artistry, all of that is in my love box. So I make sure to incorporate all of that every day, or at least a couple times out of the week, because that's like my high. Okay, so time is money, right? It's definitely money, right? And so something that I've learned over the years is that whatever you don't steward well, you lose. Okay, so I'm gonna just give y'all a little story about when I was doing too much. I was doing too much and I was trying to do even more, and I really burnt myself out. So at the time, I was in school full time. I was working full time. I was just starting my business. I also was helping to, be auntie. So I had my nieces and nephews, and then I was helping family, and then I was going back and forth, helping other people, and extending myself to the point where it was too much. It was too much, and my body was just like, no. And I literally had to stop, and I had to really take a break and give myself a week or two just to recoup because of all the exertion I was doing. So I wasn't just putting myself out there for me. I was putting myself out there for family, for friends, for my business associates, for my future clients, my future business partners, my future, all of those things, right? putting myself out there, right? And so I'm like, oh, I need to do this all the time. And mind you, when I had first started, with Intelexx, with my business, I was going live like 3-4 times a week for hours at a time, which was a lot of time to commit to creating content. Now, granted, it was great, but I also had other priorities. I also had to put work in. I also had to put spiritual foundation in. I also had to put family in on all these things. And so if I'm spending 2, 3, 4 hours on live 2, 3, 4 times out of the week, it didn't leave a lot of time for other things. And so I had to really reevaluate my schedule, and I had to start saying no to people. I had to start saying no to commitments that weren't necessarily my commitments, but things that I, was asked to help with, because I had to prioritize my schedule first, what I was able to do. You can't help everybody, and sometimes it's okay to say no. It is okay to say no, because whatever is best for your mental health is what you need to do. You can't help everybody, and it's only 24 hours in a day. Everybody has the same amount of time. But if you're spending too much time helping other people, and that could even be a 9-to-5, for those of us that work 9-to-5s, I'm not down in us. I'm not down in y'all. I feel like it's definitely a necessary tool. If that's something that you want to continue in or go up the scale in, that's great. For those of us who want to do for self and want to be completely committed to just, I need to do for myself, I don't really want to pursue anything more in this 9-to-5, that's fine too. Go where your lane is. Your lane is your lane. There's nobody else's, right? But do what's best for you. But one thing I will say is, for those of us and for those of you who are working for someone else, I hope you are taking time out each and every day to work on you and to invest in you, because when you're working for someone else, you are investing in their vision, but you also have your own. All right. And so that's something I want you to think about. All right. Now, we are winding down to one of my favorite parts of the episode, which is our mic drop. That's right. Our mic drop. So, what I want to tell you today is to prioritize yourself over everything else. Everything else can wait, right? The job will still be there. The children will still be there. The spouse will still be there. The bills will still be there. Your health and you come first, right? So if you have to take some stuff off of your load that's not necessary, and it's really, really self-analyzation, all right? If you know that you are doing too much, and if you know that you are taking too much time out to do too many things, cut some stuff out. Just cut it out, right? You can pick it back up later, but pause it, right? So there's some subscriptions that some of us might have, whether it's like our entertainment subscriptions, different subscriptions, right? If you decide that you want to cancel that subscription, they will ask you to pause it for a couple months and then pick it back up. I want you all to incorporate that within your own life. What do you need to pause for a month or two before you can pick it back up again? Because a lot of times less is more, right? We might be doing too much, and we need to kind of step back and just, come to the realization that our time is more valuable, right? So many different people who might be diagnosed with different illnesses and ailments and might have a time limit on how long they're going to live. Do you think their mindset is the same as someone who thinks they got all the time in the world? Absolutely not. They're going to want to cherish all the time that they have, and I think we all should carry on that mindset. All right. And so something that I want you all to remember is that your gift and your purpose is meant to serve others. You're meant to share that with others. And so how you manage your time now affects how you do your work, affects how productive you are, affects how effective you are. All of these things matter. So I want you all to remember to prioritize you. All right. And when you get a chance, go see Cabrini and go see One Life. They will change your life. All right. So that is all the time that I had. Remember, time is money, and when you manage it well, it works for you. Don't let your life you. Life your life. All right. I hope that made sense. But I thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all the support that I get every single episode. I appreciate you all. Shout out to all of our viewers. Shout out to the ones who will watch this later. I appreciate you for believing in me and believing in my vision. I love you all, and I hope that you have an amazing day and an awesome rest of your week. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Okay, so keep it real. What did you think? And be honest, y'all, because I really want to know what y'all think. Honest feedback definitely matters, okay? Share your thoughts about it on the Q&A that's attached to the episode on Anchor or Spotify or Apple or all the amazing platforms. If you're on YouTube, make sure to drop a comment. If you want to share a little bit more, but you don't want to do it on those platforms, make sure to email us so that we can share your thoughts on the show. I want you to remember to love yourself.
I meditate all the time, learn my lesson, turn my blessings into one of a kind. I'm gonna stand up face to face, ain't anything in my way. Mama told me never let my feelings get in the way. I'm waking up like how the hell can I get better today? I gave myself that confirmation, boy, you already great.
Be true to yourself. And when life starts lifing, life back. But don't forget to life with Lex. Until next time.